This is a 3D model for the prosecution's harm-culpability matrix. This video is for visualization purposes only. There are two diagrams on the screen. The left diagram is the one that is seen in the judgment. The right diagram is the same, except that the arrows and axes labels have been removed. I begin with the left diagram. The vertical z-axis represents the indicative starting sentence. This is derived from various combinations of harm and culpability. The horizontal x-axis represents culpability. The inward-facing y-axis represents harm. To fully appreciate the 3D nature of these diagrams, I will rotate the diagram on the right. The salient portions of the 3D model are as follows. The surface area corresponding to slight harm and low culpability presents itself as a blue two-dimensional square. This box is reserved for fines, and this generates a gap in the indicative imprisonment sentencing range. This, however, is an acceptable gap because it is an explained and reasoned one. There are, however, other areas which involve 2D surfaces that are not acceptable. I refer to the areas corresponding to infinite harm and/or infinite culpability. I refer in particular to this area which corresponds to culpability and harm when it approaches infinity. This has an indicative starting sentence of 0 years imprisonment, and this is because the prosecution's framework does not apply in such cases. This must plainly be wrong. There are also multiple flat shaded areas on the 3D surface. These present themselves as flat triangles that disrupt what would otherwise be a smooth and continuous upward sloping surface. These represent areas in which there are gaps in the indicative sentencing range and occur when harm and/or culpability increase and decrease in magnitude, but without any corresponding change in the indicative sentences. These flat areas act as ceilings on the indicative starting sentence when there should really be no such ceiling given the continuously increasing harm and culpability. As such, it can be seen that the prosecution's harm culpability matrix does not always adhere to the proportionality and continuity principles. This generates impermissible gaps and discontinuities in the indicative sentencing ranges.